Joe, welcome to the show. Super excited to have you here and talk about your growth and marketing journey. You've been 3x CMO and you're recently with Zight. And you've had quite the journey: Adobe, Cloud App, Scorpion, so many different businesses. And let's start with, can you share a bit about the journey to becoming Zight's CMO and what attracted you to the company?
Absolutely. Yeah. So out of business school, I went to a startup and just kind of learned marketing a little bit. I was a quant guy. So I was coming on to digital marketing right when it was picking up around 20 years ago. And so it was a nice mix of quant creative. Was at Adobe for a long time. And I first learned about Zight when I was at Adobe. I was managing a team in India, and nobody was ever happy on calls, right? Like it was exactly 12 hours ahead. So someone's in the morning, someone's at night.
Yeah.
So we started using Zight. It's an async video recorder. So you can just give it quick updates and others. I loved it. And I loved it so much that I joined the company at some point. So I've learned the ropes as a director at Adobe, managed a large team there. And then at Scorpion was around a $200 million business. So I had 100 people in my org. And along the way, I found that I really like my sweet spot of Zight's size. I didn't really love being the lead of a huge company. I've got 3 little kids, so I like them, not having to travel so much. And Zight's been a great spot.
I can relate to that. There was a time I was at a $1 billion public company, and every 2 weeks I was in another country. And after a year of that, you're like, I don't know if I ever want to do this again.
It's fun at first, right? You're like, I'm just by myself all the time and eating dinners for one, and it's just not as fun as
It does get old. Yes, absolutely. You've been in the game a long time. And I know, looking back, I feel like there's these phases of marketing. I don't know how to put it clearer, but there are certain things that worked for a time and then they saturate and stop, or things change, prices change. I'd love to hear how
What's
you
there.
would break down the way, like the big groups of what's changed over your career in terms of what you would have to do for marketing. Cause it's way different now, I would say.
The biggest thing is I mentioned kind of digital marketing, but like it's everything's trackable. So like you should be able to run a campaign and be able to figure out what's happening with it and get if it has good results or not. Then you put more money into that. I'm always like a focus on long-term gain with some short-term building. So long-term would be like SEO and organic, which may be changing with AI, but like building a good footprint in those takes time. So that's their long-term focus. And then in the short term, when you're trying to build, it's like running those paid campaigns with as little or as much as you can and learning from there. So you're going to learn about your audience based on those organic and paid campaigns. What are they searching for? What do they care about? And then mixing that with also just customer interviews and really understanding. So I think at the root, a lot of marketing is the same. Like it's really about understanding your customers. It's really about understanding your customer. It's, yeah, whether it was billboards in the 50s or TV ads, whatever, it's all about understanding your customer and really showing them the benefit of your product. And that's always, new channels are always being added, but that's a core concept.
I completely agree with you, of course, especially with the customer interviews. And I'd love to hear your thought about, if you look at marketing in the like internet marketing world, it's different than what people would ever do in SaaS, or what most SaaS companies do. And I think in the internet marketing world, there's this dream. Who am I thinking of? Gary Halbert. Gary Halbert, the copywriter, like he says you're one letter away, right? And then if you're a marketing nerd, you might know, okay, Russell Brunson took that and said, you're one funnel away, right? And everyone has this idea of the internet magic cash machine where you're going to be positive on front end customer acquisition in 30 days and somehow it pays for all your ad spend. That's not typically what happens in SaaS. And can you talk about what is the disconnect between these two?
I think a big piece of it, and we're a part of this with Zight, is a big part of SaaS is the freemium model. So it's like you give the product away for free, or at least a portion of it. And that creates a demand funnel for you to convert people to pro or to team or enterprise. You have them step their way up. The hard part about that is you may be paying for a free customer and it becomes a numbers game. So if you're doing freemium, you need to have large enough volume to match the conversion rate. So say you're converting 5% from free to pro or pro to team, whatever. 5% a month, have that number back into what your ad spend is so you can get return on investment there. So I think that can be a challenge with freemium and SaaS in general. And also it's just if you aren't a freemium per se, but like onboarding is critical. Everyone, we're all stuck in our ways. We don't want to learn a new product. We don't want to learn a new tool. We will revert back to what is easiest. So if you
Yeah.
don't feel value quickly, then that's a problem. We track this metric we call the aha moment. And it's
You want it in minutes, right? You want the reduce the minutes.
exactly. So our CEO worked at Meta, and Facebook's aha moment was when people added 10 people, their usage just shot way up. So
Mm.
their goal was to get people to 10 friends as quickly as possible. So our goal, our aha is like related to recording a video. So we found that when people record a video and then they get that email that's like someone watched your video, that is when they're like hooked on the concept of Zight. Our onboarding is very focused on record a video, get that gratification of sharing the link with someone watching your video and you seeing the effect of that and sharing the link in Slack or whatever, and it populating the video you created. Yeah. So we're very aggressive on tracking these like success metrics, tying all the marketing back to how can we get people quicker to this aha moment.
Makes sense. The fundamentals. Yeah, I feel like it's not any different in like even B2B services. Once they pay you, the clock is ticking. You want to deliver something impressive, and if it takes too long,
I was CMO of Scorpion. Scorpion is a completely services business. And yeah, we had 45 days to launch that website. And even then, that was a long time. People wanted, when they pay a big amount of money, they want it up like now.
especially I don't know if this is I'm just tangenting here, but I'm just thinking about pain-driven decisions. I have this feeling that when it's this very get me out of this pain situation kind of purchase decision, that then you're even more demanding about the time to value. And it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's irrational. You're like, okay, I decided to stop the suffering. Why is there still suffering?
Good point. Yeah, it's because again, with like services, say you're like, hey, we're gonna do SEO. We just signed up for this service. It's gonna take 6 months for that to find results, and you're just like SEO.
As somebody who does sales and marketing, I am intimately familiar with this. Where are the sales? We signed up yesterday. How are you thinking about AI integration? It's a big topic and it's like difficult to handle because it's changing so fast. How are you thinking about that from a marketing point of view for Zight?
It's very product marketing focused. So we were very quickly first movers on integrating AI. So now with our product, you can record a video and it will automatically create an SOP, a bug report, whatever, the transcript, and it will link that to Jira or whatever you need it to. So it's completely cutting out the documentation piece that causes a lot of problems for support agents and engineers and product people. And then also we have a meeting recorder. Those have become very popular that integrates with our system. So we quickly went into a platform of, okay, how can we use AI to make this a video platform where we're the only all-in-one video tool out there. So that's kind of on the product piece. And for that, it's really just, like you said, there's a lot of noise. Like even on me, like I feel like I'm behind as a marketing leader. I'm always questioning myself, like, is there an AI tool out there that could do this quicker or more efficiently or save money? I feel like there's some fatigue there. So we're focusing a lot on our core customer base of people. We have a steady flow of a lot of new signups every month, but getting those core customers and people who are organically signing up, making sure they're aware of AI, spending a ton of money on like new acquisition, the people who are already just finding us anyway.
It's a recurring revenue game. You're trying to keep them continually delighted.
Exactly. And we've seen huge response from our AI integration, which has been pretty cool.
Can we talk about competitors? One thing that comes to mind, obvious competitor would be Loom, and they have a positioning story around remote work and eliminating meetings. Can you talk about how you're positioning Zight and like what are the differences there?
So Loom went all in on like video for everyone and video. Zight is more of an all-in-one platform. We have screenshot, GIF, video. We have these automation products, and we were founded on a focus on enterprise. So like we very quickly SOC 2 compliant, and making sure our security was top notch and really focused on integrations. We've been built from the ground up with business in mind and really focused on this platform of meeting recorder, request to video tool, screenshot GIF, not just, hey, record your face and talk to a document.
I see. So it's what you're saying is it's like a wider solution. It's not just like single feature, and it's a different customer base as well. You're aiming at enterprise, SOC 2, integrations, and just the whole. How would you describe it in like a sentence? What is Zight? The overall solution is to do what?
Yeah, Zight is an all-in-one video communication platform. So it's going to help you portray your message in whatever way you need to, whether it's sending a request video link to a customer and getting their feedback on something, recording a meeting that you're having with internal customers or internal folks, or sharing, or just doing a basic screen recording and screenshots and clearing, making sure your desktop is nice and clean versus having a million screenshots. Also, since Loom got purchased by Atlassian, we're much more nimble. I've worked at Adobe, which is much larger than Atlassian, but I know how those companies work, and I much prefer to be independent and really nimble on what we're able to do for our customers.
That is a very good point. Once you get, if a startup or a SaaS gets acquired by a very large operator, suddenly things are going to go at the exact cadence. Makes sense. For other marketing leaders that are looking to drive these kind of results, looking to increase user growth, keep retention, can you give us some advice? Where would you start?
Oh, I don't know if you've ever read the book Who Moved My Cheese. I figured you're a sales guy, so you've probably read that. But the concept is like what worked before is not always going to work. And so you always need to be evolving. I would say that's more so than I've ever experienced in my career right now. Email is overloaded. Once I became an executive, I got not from my team, people sales has become very much like sequence business. Oh, we'll just put them in this email sequence, and that's how we connected. So it works, but it's not as effective as it used to be. So you need to have kind of a more holistic approach of email, and no, it's a timing thing. Like those conversion rates are going to be very low. You need to have a good customer experience. So if someone finds your product, you need to make sure that they stay with you, and then just clean marketing. So like your messaging matches everywhere, whether your website, and being like evolving. Like I mentioned, ChatGPT, like I need to make sure that our SEO is really strong, which we are have the best SEO of any product in our space. But that is what feeds GPT, right? So like if our SEO is really good, then we're going to show up on those searches on GPT too. So we won't suffer from issues with drop in SEO. So it's a juggling game and trying to figure out where that cheese is.
I think that's very well said. It's not a simple problem to solve. It's so many dimensions. I love you mentioned I don't know what we're calling it. LLM? Is it LEO? What is it to get your stuff in GPT? But everybody started worrying, oh man, we're going to lose all of our traffic because SEO is going to die. And then how do we get your stuff in GPT? SEO. It doesn't really go away.
It's a weird paradox, right? Like it feeds off of content created on the internet, but if people stop creating content, like new content, not robot generated content, then how is it going to get its information? So it's a weird paradox. And I think no one has the answer right now. Like everyone has fake data out there about how to win on GPT. It's not real. We're all trying to figure it out. And I think they're trying to figure it out too. Like I imagine there's hey, how do we monetize this play?
Don't you see this coming that we're all going to put like search engine ads in GPT?
It feels like it's going to come eventually.
This has been a really fantastic conversation, Joe. Thanks so much for your time. And just as we wrap up, can you tell me what are you most excited about this year?
Oh man, there's always something new with a startup. That's the fun piece and the stressful piece, but we're trying some new stuff with marketing. We're doing a lot of different field type things to try and meet face to face with people. We've got a lot of digital stuff going, and this is honestly the most exciting time in this product's development that I've ever been. We've just got some really cool benefits coming out that I know are going to really help our customers, which is awesome.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe.
Absolutely.